Hey YouTube, Don here from Music in the Making. I just wanted to make a quick video showing how I'm going to be doing my bass tracking for my EP that's going to be coming out. So, real quickly, I am doing a DI and then using, as you can see here, my Ampeg SVT-3 Pro. Basically, I have a SansAmp Bass Driver DI that I'm going to be going into the input here. It's not plugged in, I'm tuning it right now. That will be going XLR output to my Apollo into my computer, and then the parallel output is going from that to the SVT. So kind of what I'm doing right now is using this to be a really kind of flat but warm tone. You can see I'm not doing a whole lot here. Cutting back the treble a little bit, because I have noticed with this one, if you've got the treble and presence up, it can get a little harsh, and it can also sound like you've got some noise in there. So I usually pull those down a little bit unless I'm going to be doing some like distorted type stuff. And then the blend knob on here, if you don't know, if you move it all the way to the left, that's actually would be completely like a DI. So blend is used to blend in the coloration of the SansAmp. So a little bit of coloration, but notice it's only halfway, so only half of it is being used. The other half would be a purely DI signal. And then down here, I do like the sound of kind of get more thump with the low in. You can't see because the cord's in the way here, but the bright knob I do not have engaged. The pad's not engaged, and the high isn't. Gain is up a little bit. Bass is up, mid-range up a little bit. I like the number 5 frequency. Treble is slightly cut there. And then tube gain is pretty high because I like the way that sounds. Master volume actually doesn't matter on this one for what is sent out of the DI out of the back of this. And then I do have the EQ on. You can see I'm not doing a whole lot there. Boosting slightly some of the real low stuff, and then boosting slightly some of the top end, with kind of leaving the middle alone, because I'm taking care of that with the mid-range frequency selection here. So getting a little bit more of some of the attack and string sounds from this rather than the SansAmp. And then that's both going to my Apollo, and then in here I've got, you can see on both channels, I've got a LA2A that'll be doing just a little bit of compression. I'm not going to overdo it on the way in case I don't want a ton later, although I'm pretty sure I will compress it again more later, but I don't want to overdo it. So just a little bit of light compression on the way in. And then the only other thing is I do have my Music Man Stingray 5 with the dual humbuckers, and it is a family reserve, you can see there, which is why it looks, it is a maple neck. It's a bird's eye maple, but it's roasted, so that's why it looks a little different. I really like the sound of this bass, even without really doing any EQ or anything to it. Just really like the sound. So on the actual like active EQ on there, I don't usually do a whole lot. I'll boost the bass slightly, leave the mids alone, and slightly cut the treble, because I like a really warm sound for most of my stuff, because I do fingerstyle picking for most of what I do. But when I get into metal, then I'll do with a pick. But usually I use the pickup selection to kind of gear how I want it to actually wind up sounding. So for some of the more warm stuff, I leave it in the center. If it's going to be using a pick, then I'll probably do like the bridge, or maybe the number 2 selection I like with a pick as well, if it's not super distorted type sound. But yeah, so the bass into the SansAmp, parallel out into the SVT, which then has a line out in the back that goes to the Apollo, and then both of them have an LA2A compressor on it. So that's it for me. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If you like this video, please subscribe, and in the meantime, go make some music. I'll catch you guys later.